Welcome, Joslyn Center Facebook Live fans. My name is Jack Newby. I'm the Executive Director here at the Joslyn Center. We are here on our Interview Fridays. So we've got a great interview coming up in a minute. Before we do that, as usual, I want to cover some of the things that we're doing here at the Joslyn Center so we can see you here on site. So let me get that up. There we go. The Joslyn Center is a cool center. So what that means, it means we're cool, we're a great place to go. But also, if the temperature is over 100 degrees, we work with Southern California Edison and with the County of Riverside and the Office on Aging. So it's heat relief for adults 55 and up. And so you're invited to come to the Joslyn Center, relax. We have water and snacks for you. You can participate in our programs and services. So it's a great opportunity for you to also save money, because if you're here, you can adjust your thermostat at home so you're not using as much electricity to run your air conditioner, and you can come here to the Joslyn Center, use our electricity, and stay cool and be cool at the Joslyn Center. We also have coming up pretty soon, we have our gardening club series, and that's something that we're really glad to start. It starts on Monday, July 31st at 9:30. So if you want to find out more information about that, you can call us at 760-340-3220 and ask for Melanie. She's our Director of Programs. Also, we have coming up in our Wellness Center Brain Boot Camp, and that's coming up on July 21st and 28th. That's a 2-session course, and it is a really fun course, informative course, and it learns how to boost your memory and brain health. So it talks about those things and things that are shown to improve your health and make sure that you avoid cognitive decline as you get older. And it was developed by the UCLA Longevity Center, so they're experts in the field. So that's Brain Boot Camp coming up July 21st and July 28th. We do ask you to pre-register, so you can contact Alex at 760-340-3220, extension 117. Also, and this is what we're going to be talking about, we have problem-solving strategies. And so that's counseling for stress, anxiety, depression, if you have relationship issues, whether it's in a primary relationship or family, worrying about those things that keep you awake at night. That's problem-solving strategies. Our Go for Life exercise class is on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 to 9, and that's with Debbie. And that's a great class to keep you going in the morning and invigorated all day. Finally, we have coming up our basketry course, and that's where we're working with the Braille Institute. So we collaborate with a lot of different organizations. We really work with the Braille Institute. We help them with some of their counseling, and they come here and help us with their classes, and also their students learn how to navigate what they need to do when they're out in the public. So those are some of the things that are happening at the Joslyn Center. Pickleball lessons with Henry Thursdays, and we've had to expand it because it's so popular. So Thursdays 11 to 1 and Fridays 10 to noon. That's pickleball lessons, and then there's open play. So please join us for that. You'll have a great time. So we can see you here on site. So let me get that up. There we go. Let me get that up. There we go. So sorry about those little technical difficulties. They're always changing something in these programs, but they don't tell you, and they don't tell you how to use it. So we're ready now, and I want to welcome Susan Gomez. She's our newest counselor here at the Joslyn Center. Welcome, Susan. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you, Jack. How are you?
Good to see you. Oops. Now that's really bright.
Okay, I know we were having some issues. Let's see if we can go back to,
There we go.
there you go. Is that better?
So, yes. So this is our morning for technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So one of the things, our viewers sometimes, they want to learn a little bit about who we're talking about. So tell us about Susan Gomez, your background and experience in counseling, and we can go from there.
I was working with the County of Riverside. I am recently retired, so I've been working with the mental health field for about the past 18 years. And as I said, I've recently retired. I'm continuing my work because I enjoy working with people. Working with as a therapist, a counselor is very rewarding. I enjoy helping people and showing them that, they've always had the skills within them. So there's a lot of self-empowerment, skills that we can use. That's why I'm continuing to work in this field.
So we are very glad to have you here at the Joslyn Center. And I mentioned the Braille Institute earlier. What are some of the things you're doing with the Braille Institute?
At the Braille Institute, I'm assisting our clients there with just helping them get through daily struggles. So if I can help them live a more healthier, happier, productive life by sharing coping skills with them, the clients also share they share a lot of their own personal experiences with each other, which I believe is a great support for people who are struggling, say with depression, anxiety, just life stressors, because there's to me, there's nothing like that personal experience, someone asking another person, hey, what have you done and what has helped you? And they can share these experiences with each other.
And we're also starting a group here at the Joslyn Center for some of those same things. Tell us a little bit about that.
I run a support group, and that is at 1:30 on Monday afternoons. And it's similar. We get clients that come together, and they also share their own personal struggles with each other. I offer some coping skills. They also will help each other as far as the same kind of be supportive of each other, exchange ideas as to, what's working in their lives, what is not. And it's a great way to also meet people if you're struggling with your social skills and you need to socialize more. And also if you're depressed, you feel like you're isolating. As Jack mentioned, it's a great way to get out and meet people. The center, as well as, the support groups that we offer, and also the classes that we offer that Jack mentioned earlier. They're a great way to get out and help people, make that step towards getting out more and not isolating so much. And we do it within a supportive environment.
And that's one of the things that's the reasons for our counseling program here at the Joslyn Center is seniors have some unique issues or problems they're facing. They may have, had a spouse just recently deceased who, they're looking for ways to rebuild their lives. One of the reasons I'm so passionate about senior centers is I saw the impact on my own mom when my father passed away, and she was isolating and started going to the senior center and really rebuilt her life. But sometimes people have problems with that, with developing friendships, or they may be having financial issues. That's where you can step in.
Yes, that is where I step in, and I can help people develop skills and use those skills in a more efficient way to live a more healthier and productive life. And as Jack mentioned, we do use the problem solving method, which means that, say, if you're having struggles with depression, anxiety, or any kind of life stressors that are getting in the way of you functioning, normally through, as normal as you'd like to, or as productively as you'd like to, you would come in, we define the problem, we try to give you coping skills to use, and therefore you use them. So the counseling sessions are between 10 and 12 sessions, and if need be, we can go further than that. So that is the method that we use at the center.
So, and that's been proven for older adults, because they do have those unique stressors that come up in their lives as they get older, and having to adapt to new things that are happening in their lives. And as I understand, I'm not a therapist, but as I understand, if they develop those skills, if another issue comes up in their life, they now have those skills that they can solve the problem using those skills on their own.
That is correct. I mean, there's a lot of stressors that we come, to face in our lives. But once you have those tools and those skills, you can continue using them. So say for depression, it's if you're isolating and you're having that problem, not being able to come out of the house for whatever reason, and you just the first step you would make is making a call to someone. Often it's very hard to be vulnerable and ask for help. We're humans, and we tend to believe that we can solve problems on our own. But once it gets to the point to where it's impacting the way you function during the day, or not even functioning at all, then that's the time to call. And it is really difficult to be vulnerable and say, hey, I need help. And again, with mental health, there does come a stigma with it of, people tend to think of it in a negative way, but it's no different than an illness of, say, diabetes or high cholesterol. This is just something that's, happening in your mind. So we need to keep our bodies healthy, yes, but also our minds healthy as well, to live more productive.
And that's an important point, because sometimes that stigma that we've all seen growing up about seeking help with a counselor, really prevents people from solving the issues that they're trying to face, that they can't solve on their own. So breaking down that stigma is a really important part of what you do.
Yes. So I want to ask you, if you are struggling with any kind of symptoms or behaviors that you'd like to improve, that come along with sometimes symptoms of depression or anxiety. I ask you to, call the center and make an appointment. I am at the center Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 4:30. And you can schedule an appointment with me, and we can get started on this on your, and you can call Alex and he can schedule an appointment.
So that's Alex is the is the key here. You call Alex at 760-340-3220, and he's at extension 117. And he'll work with you. There's some paperwork you have to fill out. He'll work with you on completing that paperwork. And then anything that needs to be completed, like any other time you have an appointment with a professional, you may spend a few minutes in the office, but he'll then refer you to Susan. Susan will call you, make an appointment, and you can get going. And it's amazing. You've been in this for a while. What are some of the success stories or things that you've seen, changes you've seen when people take advantage of a counseling program?
When I was working with the county, I did work with the homeless population This was a population that we worked with a lot in the county. And I would see people, homeless people come in. They'd have a lot of challenges from direct substance abuse to, some type of mental illness, whether it was schizophrenia or, just major depression. And the biggest hurdle for them was, of course, a lot of times we need, there are certain things we need in life set in place before we can even start to work on major issues. What they struggled with, of course, food, clothing, and shelter was like their primary need for resources. Once that was, we would get them settled somewhere, we would start with them as far as, individual counseling groups at the mental clinics, mental health clinics. And we would see a big change. Once their, immediate needs were taken care of, the counseling and the groups would, they'd also take groups in counseling, and we would see a big change. They were able to cope with life's stressors a little easier when they had their immediate, needs taken care of first, which with any of us, it is food, clothing, and shelter. That's what we need.
Well, and that's the important thing, is that sometimes people will get stuck, and they don't want to address a relationship issue, or they don't want to address their loneliness and isolation and what they need to do to get through that. And they can recognize it and think they can get through it on their own. Sometimes they just need that help talking with someone who is skilled to provide them with those coping mechanisms.
That is very true. And again, the first call is the hardest. Just picking up the phone, calling and saying, I need this help. And it not in any way means that you're a weak person. I've heard people tell me that before. And it just means that you're finally taking the first step to feeling better, because that is what we want in life. We want to feel better, so that we can live a healthier, happier life and be more productive. Because when we don't feel well, and again, as I was saying, that also means our mind as well as our bodies. It functions as one. So we can't neglect, take care of one and neglect the other, because we're not going to function as well.
And I would even say, you can turn that around. People, may feel that they're weak in asking for help. To me, it's strength in asking for help. You are recognizing it, and you are taking a concrete, strong step to improve what challenges you're dealing with in your life. So I think if people kind of turn that around in their head a little bit and look at it that way, it really, the benefits of talking with someone over a period of time who's skilled, and the sessions are really structured. You work with a client, you develop a treatment plan with them. Is that correct?
Yes. And in fact, Jack, you used a coping skill right now. It's kind of called reframing. When you try to turn something around that seems like a negative into a more positive. And people, a lot of times people don't realize that we do this throughout the day, every day, and we don't build self-awareness to it. But when you learn to take a negative thought and turn it into something positive, there's always something positive in everything we do. We just need someone sometimes to point it out in order to see it that way. But, again, you just used a coping skill, which is, turning something, that you may not see as, totally great into something, looking into it a little deeper to find something that's good about that situation.
Well, Susan, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. And again, we want to remind people, if you would like to talk with Susan or make an appointment at the Wellness Center for one of our classes, our Aging Mastery class, and also our Brain Boot Camp class that's coming up the end of this month, call Alex, 760-340-3220. He's at extension 117. He will get you either registered for a class or get you set up for an appointment with Susan or one of our other counselors. So Susan, again, I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning. Wish you a happy weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on Monday. And
Yes.
for our viewers, wishing you a happy weekend. And thank you for joining us.
Okay. Bye-bye.